I'm Jason, UFC, and today we have a story about UFC number one welterweight contender. Colby Covington says, "Me versus Conor McGregor, probably the biggest fight the UFC would ever do." How about that? Colby Covington thinks a fight with Conor McGregor would be the highest selling pay-per-view in UFC history, with Conor McGregor projected to return versus Michael Chandler. I haven't heard that it's going to be welterweight. Later this year, his name could be linked to the title picture with a win. Conor McGregor is undeniably UFC's biggest draw, and Colby Covington thinks he'd be the perfect fight, numbers wise, right? Connor's done some great things in the sport, is what Covington said during UFC 286 backstage. Connor's made a great fighter, but his time is passing. Connor's made a lot of money, so Connor just doesn't have the same hunger and same drive Connor used to when Connor first started fighting. Who knows if Connor's coming back to fight anytime soon? He still has to get the USADA pool and do all that stuff that goes along with that. If Conor wants to fight one day and do business, it's probably the biggest fight the UFC would ever do, as you see with the numbers this weekend that I've drawn to this event. Covington is taking credit for the UFC 286 numbers. What? After Covington weighed in as the backup for Leon Edwards' first title defense versus Kamaru Usman in Saturday's UFC's 286 headliners at the O2 Arena in London, UFC President Dana White said Colby Covington is next in line for the welterweight champion Edwards. The title is what Colby Covington currently is focused on, but Covington would be open to a McGregor fight down the line. If they want to sit down at the table and they think, I guess they being the UFC, think that's the biggest fight we can do, then let's do it. But I'm here to fight the biggest and best fights in the UFC. Okay, it's a little bit interesting there that Covington is putting it out there that he would be willing to fight Covington is willing to fight Conor McGregor. Now, like I said, we have not heard what's really going on with Conor. Let's just be honest. He's doing the Ultimate Fighter. He's not in the testing pool as of last week. From what I understand, he hasn't been in the testing pool. And we also don't know, like, he's fighting Michael Chandler. From what I understand, I may be an MMA casual, but I do not remember Michael Chandler ever fighting in the welterweight division, weighing 170 pounds. I don't know if Michael Chandler agreed to that, but the first reported, when the fight was reported, the first thing I heard was that it was going to be in the lightweight division, which many people would be a little bit surprised to see Conor fight back in the lightweight division, even though his last loss was versus Dustin Poirier. That came in the lightweight division. His last victory was versus, when I say Conor McGregor's last victory was in the welterweight division versus Donald Cerrone. I believe that was in 2021 or something like that. I think it was 2021. I can't remember when it was. But I know Conor McGregor's last victory was versus Donald Cerrone in the welterweight division. But like I said, we have not confirmed, one, when Conor McGregor is going to be in the testing pool. Two, but where is it going to be, in the lightweight division or in the welterweight division between Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler? And three, when is the fight going to happen? So there's a lot to go on before we get a fight between Colby Covington and Conor McGregor. Colby Covington, as I said, is the current number one ranked welterweight in the world, and I believe he is the number one contender versus Leon Edwards when Leon Edwards gets back from UFC 286. I don't know what type of injuries he sustained there. Covington wants Leon Edwards in July, which is like 4 months from now. I would be shocked if Leon Edwards comes back that soon. I did see him limping a little bit after UFC 286. He's also said, Leon Edwards said that Colby Covington doesn't deserve the title fight. He thinks that Jorge Masvidal, for some reason, deserves the title fight, but Jorge Masvidal will be fighting Gilbert Burns at UFC, I believe, 287, right? 287, headlined by Israel Adesanya versus the middleweight champion Alex Pereira. So I believe, after that fight, Gilbert Burns and Jorge Masvidal, I would imagine that's when we will get confirmation and a date for Colby Covington and Leon Edwards. If Masvidal wins, who knows what's going to go on there. Masvidal lost last year to Colby Covington. Leon Edwards thinks that Masvidal deserves more of a title shot than Colby Covington. But, if Dana White says Colby Covington is the number one contender, Leon Edwards will have to fight Colby Covington next. He won't be able to say, well, I would prefer to fight Jorge Masvidal. He hasn't earned that sway in the company yet. So we'll see what's going on with Colby Covington. We'll see what's happening with Conor McGregor later on this year. Like this, between these two, we won't be talking about that until like November of this year, when I think both of them will be fighting around that time. But I'm Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about Colby Covington saying that him versus Conor McGregor probably be the biggest fight the UFC would ever do in all-time history. Do you agree, or do you just totally disagree with Chaos? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.